Hey, I'm Rocky, and today we're going to be trying out all these non-OEM starter gears. I mean this aftermarket metal starter gear. That's all we'll need. That and maybe a pair of pliers or something. That worked. To get this far, you're going to need a 5/16 and a 3/8 socket. The old starter gear didn't explode. The ring failed. We're still going to do the upgrade. We still got some chewing, but again, that's probably from the ring on the top failing. Looking around and I found the cap. It was right there. Probably not going to find the ring. Well, either way, I need to put this thing on here now. Oh man, I can see it blew the teeth out where it popped out too. So there's a bolt under this air shroud, which before when I turned to starter gear, I could not find my small socket, so I just started ripping the thing out, which really, as far as airflow goes, it's still going to function when you just shove it back up in there, and I just didn't care, and I still don't care. But yeah, I just shoved it out, and I can push it to the side, and you can get the screw out with this thing here, but to pull this down, you're going to have to actually shove this down. Well, I just realized I did this backwards. I put the spring where it's pushing the gear up instead of down, but I also needed to get a shut-off valve really bad because my oil is really smelling like gas, and the oil level is higher than it was when I checked it a week ago. So, yeah, that's really annoying that I have constantly fuel getting into my oil. Now that's correct. I'm going to get a rope tri-pull starting this thing right down the tractor's ply and hope I can get a ring to put back on here. Really good thing I brought the rope, because they do not have any pins here of that style. They only have the type where you need the tool, which those are way too big. So I'm going to have to order them online. Until then, we're going to pull one from another starter, which is not the way I wanted to do this. Well, here's our donor motor, where I pull parts from as I need them. In fact, the part I want to pull now is the crankcase breather line, because I want to see if I can get it to work with this guy. Because its crankcase breather is shot. Oh, whoa! That exhaust rusted really bad in the past couple days. So the curved side of the gear goes up, then the spring goes on, then the cap goes on, then the C-ring of death goes on, and then you're going to struggle to get it on, but this will make your life easier. Well, I've got a 3/8 Taiwanese sock, blah blah blah. I'm going to put this over the end here. I'm going to hit it with the hammer till it goes down. It's big, the ring's too big for it to go inside here, but this thing's big enough that it can slide over the pole, no problem. Just got to hit it with the hammer till it goes in and clicks. I'm not sure if it's going to work, so I'm going to use the camera as eye protection. That scared the ducks, it was so loud. I guess it's not hard to scare a duck. I have that installed right, but that's awful. What the hell? This thing's flinging out metal. This thing's not all that great, I think. I'm going to give this gear another chance. I'm going to try greasing this up and see if at least metal shrapnel stops flying around, because I really don't like the fact I'm losing metal over this. I think I got a 350 cold cranking amp battery on the motor. It only does 75 compression of PSI in both cylinders, and is 18 horsepower. So there's no reason this thing could start for days. Oh, that sounds awful. At least there's grease flying this time. Don't know if we're still losing metal. I shouldn't be doing this, but I do have a spare flywheel, so I'm going to just lay on this thing for a couple minutes, unless the starter gets really hot. Actually, it is getting pretty warm. You know, I tried this before my 19 horsepower, and I had the same problem, except for that thing has a half-bad starter, and I couldn't get it to spin nearly this fast. I'm still going to mess with it a little bit, but I think this gear is trash. I'd rather do a plastic exploding gears than watch my flywheel get chewed up and not be able to start. Because this thing normally is boom, no problem. Alright, let's do a comparison. We're going to try this one more time. Alright, all that's done is fling metal everywhere. Now we're going to try a pull start with a rope. Alright, so let's see how pull start does. No, I flooded it. Oh wait, the key's off. Damn it. First time when I actually had the key on. Oh, it actually started that time. Oh, I'm actually going to be able to get to use this gear. So the gear's starting to work. Alright, this gear might be functional, but it is terrible. The only reason this thing's starting to work is because it is destroying my flywheel till it perfectly fits the gear. If anybody who's in charge of making this somehow manages to see this video, I would actually recommend, I know it'd make it cost more, but I would pay this. Basically, you have the metal, you have the metal fins not be nearly as big, but instead and then you have the actual plastic around it to go with that. So as the plastic rubs away, it still has the bracing of the metal inside it, and then it's got the plastic on the outside so it doesn't damage the flywheel, and it'll start a lot smoother. And that would be so much better. Like, I would pay $20 for a gear like that. I'd probably even pay $25. $30 probably not. I'd rather just go through a whole bunch of plastic gears at that point. But I'd pay up to $25 for a gear like that, so. Because I know that that's going to last a long time. Because none of my gears, the teeth, I've had two things happen. Either it starts to slip and it goes, all the teeth get wiped right off, or the gear just shatters to pieces. And that would really last a lot longer. I guess I'm going to put the shroud in this thing and hope for the best. I'm still losing metal, but what's probably going to end up happening is eventually that flywheel is going to be destroyed, and I will have to get that thing off or kiss the motor goodbye. I have not tried using a torch, but I have failed at using PB Blaster. So for this to be a review, I got to rate it. I give it a 1 out of 5 stars. Not a 0, but a 1. Because it works, you can start with it, but you got to be willing to cause permanent damage to your flywheel, and it takes a lot more power. My starter's still pretty damn warm, and that was about 15 minutes ago, so it takes a lot more power. So yeah, if you have an aftermarket flywheel, for the love of God, do not buy one of these starters. You do not want to buy a $300 flywheel and then buy this $10 starter gear and let it just start ripping your flywheel to shreds. And this is the second one I had this happen to. The other one I thought I put it upside down. I was like, oh, well, the pointy ends probably go up because it mechanically makes sense. But oh, nope, I must have put it upside down. And then when I tried flipping it the other way, it destroyed the little plastic grooves on the inside that make it push up. So I just gave up and thought I screwed up. But it wasn't me, it was the gear. So I'd highly recommend just saving your money on this one, and hopefully somebody makes a redesign that doesn't suck. Since there has been a little bit of cool off time though, let's give her a start. Oh, that is nasty. By the way, if anybody's new seeing this, that is not a permanent setup, that is temporary. I'm going to snorkel it, and the crankcase breather is going to go into the snorkel. But until then, it's a pillowcase. Now for fun, let's just drive this thing and show you how it's running these days.